Welcome, and thanks for joining with AIP, the American Institute of Pyramid Research. We study pyramids around the world, especially in Egypt, with the belief they hold special wisdom. Please subscribe to our channel as we uncover long-hidden secrets, explain sacred symbols, and demystify the world's greatest mysteries. Let's move over to UnchartedX. I think we're going to get a more intelligent view here. So here's some video I think they did yesterday on UnchartedX about ancient high technology.
That these could well be, in fact, out-of-place objects, and that they require a level of technology that is far beyond that of the cultures that we attribute them to. Along with my own observations, my own travels, it is on this basis, on the opinion of a long list of qualified experts, and not those of mainstream archaeology or anthropology, that I too believe this category of stonework to be evidence for unknown and ancient forms of high technology. On topics like precision engineering, tool making, and large-scale construction, it's these people we should turn to for truly expert opinion, rather than those of tenured academics who write textbooks about the people, practices, traditions, and the daily life of ancient cultures. Archaeologists don't tend to write books about precision engineering, and it by no means degrades the profession by saying that many of its members generally have only a limited interest and certainly no professional expertise in construction technologies. Even when the engineering or technological aspects of objects are addressed by mainstream archaeology, it's always cast in the light of the known capability of ancient civilizations, often leading to circular logic that goes nowhere. Something like this, an example. The Old Kingdom granite monoliths like columns and boxes must have been made by copper chisels and pounding stones, because that's what we know that they had. There's no proof they did it any differently. Meanwhile, analysis of the objects themselves and the technology needed to make them is direct evidence for such an advanced capability. After all, we have the objects, which is the result of the tools, and we have the markings, which is the signature from the tools. Yet this evidence is dismissed because there have been no tools found. Therefore, the Egyptians must have made them with copper chisels and pounding stones, because that's what we know that they had. It's a circular argument, and it's a neat way of avoiding addressing the actual evidence for precision and high technology in these ancient objects. Just ask, where are the tools, and walk away. Never mind the quantifiable proof that we have of their use that is represented by the objects themselves. This is why archaeologists rarely consider the manufacturing of such precision objects.
Okay, so UnchartedX gives a very balanced perspective here. He doesn't totally throw under the bus traditional Egyptologists and archaeologists. He says that their profession has a place, and he's right to say that there's a perspective that discipline has that doesn't usually include engineering and manufacturing. I've taken that up with some Egyptologists I know. As a matter of fact, if my paper is accepted, I'll be presenting before a huge gathering of Egyptologists in April of this year about some of their limitations as a profession, as a discipline, as Egyptologists. So that point's well taken. And, specifically, UnchartedX mentions Chris Dunn. Now, Chris Dunn's my neighbor in Illinois. He and I have visited. We have different perspectives, but I totally respect him as a researcher. And, of course, Chris is the one that looks at these objects and says, hey, this takes high technology to make this. Brian Forster is known for this too. You'll hear about from him in a second. So I would simply say this, that there are people that show that the ancient Egyptians could have built vases like this, that they could have done 2 drill holes. So it's not a slam dunk that these objects mentioned by UnchartedX and Chris Dunn and others are a proof that there had to be ancient technology. I don't think they are. Okay, so let's look at probably the most traditionalist archaeologist there is, Dr. Mark Lehner, a forensic expert, an empiricist to the core. Okay,
and I mean, if you look at the royal boat of Khufu displayed in the museum south of the Great Pyramid, it's a tremendous feat of engineering. The thing about the New Agers is, or the alternative theorists, they're not satisfied with that. They want something more. No, there's something being hidden. There's almost like a conspiracy theory fever Sure. Infection. But if there was something more, I'd love to find it. But what we find is the city that I'm describing.
Okay, so I think that's a fair statement. You might not agree with Lehner, but all this slamming of him by the alternatives, he's simply saying that there is a tremendous technology in that boat. Have you seen it? Twisted wood, instead of getting 2x4s from Home Depot, that boat was built with twisted lumber by artisans and craftsmen. It's tremendous engineering. It's as big as, the boats that Columbus, in terms of length, took to America. All right, let's listen to more from Lehner.
The Egyptians were a pretty advanced culture.
Well, the Egyptians were always advanced, for their time, but there was a definite development trajectory. So when I did an online thing once directly from the dig, through NOVA, WGBH, the science program, it was by email at the time. But a young woman wrote to me, she said, I don't understand in terms of the debate with people like John Anthony West and Graham Hancock and, Robert Schock. She said, I don't understand, why are you so reluctant to admit that there was an advanced civilization that built the Sphinx and the pyramids and then disappeared? I said, I'm not reluctant to admit that at all. That's in fact what I believe, but it is the civilization that we're finding.
Okay, so again, you might not like Lehner, but that is a very rational position he just took. He's saying we found an advanced civilization. I wish that some of the alternative people could realize how advanced it is. Okay, so I think there's some things that Lehner is overlooking or is not seeing from his empiricist perspective, but I totally respect him as a scientist and as an honest person. Sorry, there's no conspiracy here. All right, now Sacred Geometry Decoded did a video today. I added this to my video because they put this out today. It speaks to this question. He takes on, and I won't mention the name of the famous person here, but we're gonna quote him first, and then we'll deal with this.
And this is granite containing quartz crystal. In order to be able to produce a drill that could cut through this, you need to have at least diamond-level technology.
Okay, so the claim is constantly made, to cut into granite you need diamond-level technology. Okay, let's listen to Sacred Geometry Decoded, and he's got a ton of videos on this, and he's got a lot of evidence. Let's just listen to this one clip I took from today's video.
Well, firstly, let's look at the issue and the repeated claim that granite cannot be worked prior to so-called diamond technology, diamond tools. This is ridiculous, false, wrong, the Mount Everest of wrongness. I just Googled 1850s tombstones.
Okay, so the reason you Google those tombstones is because that's before diamond cutting, and there's all kinds of tombstones made of granite, and they're tooled miraculously, beautifully. Okay, so there's a ton of evidence besides 1850s tombstones, but he called you can't cut this except with diamond technology, the Mount Everest of wrong. So we have difference of opinion here, don't we? Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, that there's differences of opinion. So I think it's best that you, as much as you can, state your bias ahead of time. I told mine in the beginning. I look to these monuments like the Great Pyramid as believing that they're encoded with tremendous knowledge. And in one sense, I don't care if it was Khufu or somebody before Khufu, because it's in them. And that's one thing that Dr. Lehner and others don't recognize. So thanks for watching. What do you think about this whole thing? Thanks for watching. Please like the video, share with friends, and hit the subscribe button. Please comment below and let us know what else you'd like to see on AIP.